4 new books were announced today on StarWars.com. Brotherhood by Mike Chin releases on May 10th, 2022. Stories of Jedi and Sith releases on June 7th. Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher releases on June 28th. And Padawan by Kierston White releases on July 26th. Here's what they're all about. Shadow of the Sith is about Luke and Lando's search for Exegol set in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. The Empire is dead. Nearly 2 decades on from the Battle of Endor, the tattered remnants of Palpatine's forces have fled to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But for the heroes of the New Republic, danger and loss are ever-present companions, even in this newly forged era of peace. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is haunted by visions of the dark side, foretelling an ominous secret growing somewhere in the depths of space on a dead world called Exegol. The disturbance in the Force is undeniable, and Luke's worst fears are confirmed when his old friend, Lando Calrissian, comes to him with reports of a new Sith menace. After his daughter was stolen from his arms, Lando searched the stars for any trace of his lost child, but every new rumor only led to dead ends and fading hopes until he crossed paths with Ochi of Bestoon, a Sith assassin tasked with kidnapping a young girl. Ochi's true motives remain shrouded to Luke and Lando, for on a junkyard moon, a mysterious envoy of the Sith Eternal has bequeathed a sacred blade to the assassin, promising that it will give him answers to the questions that have haunted him since the Empire fell. In exchange, he must complete a final mission, return to Exegol with the key to the Sith's glorious rebirth, the granddaughter of Darth Sidious himself, Rey. As Ochi hunts Rey and her parents to the edge of the galaxy, Luke and Lando race into the mystery of the Sith's lingering shadow and aid a young family running for their lives. So it sounds like this book is going to do what Star Wars books have been doing since Star Wars books have been a thing. Answer some questions about the movies. And yeah, the sequel trilogy could use some of that, especially surrounding Exegol and Rey. This story is set to take place about 10 years before The Force Awakens, so we should get some more of a young Padawan Ben Solo before he becomes Kylo Ren. I'm hopeful that Anakin's Force Ghost could make an appearance to offer some guidance about Exegol to bring in some of the Darth Vader comic storylines. Ochi of Bestoon is already a connection to those comics, and his part of the story will be giving us more context about Rey and her family. This book has potential to answer a lot of questions, but I also like Adam Christopher's writing in both from a certain point of view books. He was originally supposed to write the Mandalorian book last year that was cancelled for whatever reason. But let's move on to Brotherhood by Mike Chin. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker must stem the tide of the raging Clone Wars and forge a new bond as Jedi Knights. The Clone Wars have begun. Battle lines are being drawn throughout the galaxy. With every world that joins the Separatists, the peace guarded by the Jedi Order is slipping through their fingers. After an explosion devastates Cato Neimoidia, the jewel of the Trade Federation, the Republic is blamed and the fragile neutrality of the planet is threatened. The Jedi dispatch Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the Order's most gifted diplomatic minds, to investigate the crime and maintain the balance that has begun to dangerously shift. As Obi-Wan investigates with the help of a heroic Neimoidian guard, he finds himself working against the Separatists who hope to draw the planet into their conspiracy, and senses the sinister hand of Asajj Ventress in the mists that cloak the planet. Amid the brewing chaos, Anakin Skywalker rises to the rank of Jedi Knight. Despite the mandate that Obi-Wan travel alone, and his former master's insistence that he listen this time, Anakin's headstrong determination means nothing can stop him from crashing the party and bringing along a promising but conflicted youngling. Once a Padawan to Obi-Wan, Anakin now finds himself on equal but uncertain footing with the man who raised him. The lingering friction between them increases the danger for everyone around them. The two knights must learn a new way to work together, and they must learn quickly to save Cato Neimoidia and its people from the fires of war. To overcome the threat they face, they must grow beyond master and apprentice. They must stand together as brothers. Again, we're going to probably get some questions answered, like when and how Anakin was promoted to the rank of Jedi Knight, when did the Jedi first encounter Asajj Ventress, but most importantly, what was that business on Cato Neimoidia? I assume and hope we'll get that answer, but these questions really feel like a good jumping off point for a very interesting story. What happens when you grow up and you feel that dynamic shift? How does a young adult handle that change when you find yourself on equal ground with your parents and others who have had authority over you all your life? This is listed as an adult novel, but it could very easily be young adult, because remember, Anakin is only 19 or maybe 20 when he's promoted. It's all well and good for a Star Wars story to answer questions about the galaxy for us, but more importantly, those answers shouldn't be the point of a story, just part of it. I only know Mike Chen's work also from a certain point of view, The Empire Strikes Back, but I recall enjoying his story about Palpatine. Also, the early May release date is probably going to coincide in some way with the Kenobi series on Disney+, especially after Jordan Mazon suggested he heard that would be its release month. Anyway, next up we have a young adult novel, Padawan by Kierston White. Obi-Wan Kenobi struggles with his place in the Force as a young Padawan in this coming-of-age adventure. Obi-Wan Kenobi really wants to be a good Padawan, the best Padawan even, but that's feeling more and more impossible with his new master, Qui-Gon Jinn. All of Obi-Wan's friends are off training to be real Jedi, getting mission experience, while he's still on Coruscant, practicing his forms and sitting in silent contemplation. Ever since Qui-Gon's former master, Dooku, left the Order, it feels like Qui-Gon has been too busy trying to connect with the Force or arguing with the Jedi Council to properly train his Padawan. When Obi-Wan finally convinces Qui-Gon to take him on a mission to a remote planet once explored by an ancient Jedi, his master doesn't show up the morning they are to leave, so Obi-Wan impulsively takes off by himself. Upon arriving on the mysterious, lush planet, he encounters a group of teenagers with no adult supervision and who all seem to have some connection to the Force. Free from the constraints of the Order, Obi-Wan joins them in their daring adventures, but the Padawan side of him keeps questioning the teens' strange relationship to the Force and to the verdant planet around them, and what all of it might mean to his future. Obi-Wan will test the limits of his relationship to the Jedi and to the Force in this exciting yet soulful exploration of one of Star Wars' most enduring heroes. This one definitely sounds like a young adult novel. Obi-Wan gets wrapped up with some young Force users who have no supervision. Scandal. But in all seriousness, I think it could be interesting to see a young version of Obi-Wan go a little wild. I expect this one will connect with the novel Master and Apprentice quite a bit, which also showed some of Obi-Wan's frustration with Qui-Gon. I'm definitely curious about what planet we might be visiting that was once explored by an ancient Jedi. Kierston White previously wrote for, you guessed it, from a certain point of view, The Empire Strikes Back. She did the probe droid story, which I remember being unique and enjoyable. And finally, we have Stories of Jedi and Sith. The battle between good and evil never ends. The brave Jedi, the devious Sith, these iconic heroes and villains embody the struggle between light and dark that is at the very heart of Star Wars. In this exciting middle-grade anthology, 10 acclaimed authors imagine all new tales for some of the saga's most popular characters, from Luke Skywalker to Darth Vader, from Obi-Wan Kenobi to Asajj Ventress, and beyond, complete with beautiful spot illustrations. Epic standoffs, cunning plots, courageous action, and ruthless anger are all here in this showcase of the enduring power of one of the greatest movie sagas of all time. There's not a lot to go off of here except for the authors, which include Roseanne A. Brown, Sarwat Chadha, Delilah S. Dawson, Tessa Gratton, Michael Cogg, Sam Maggs, Michael Marisi, Alex Segura, Vera Strange, and Karen Strong. Off the bat, I know Dawson, Marisi, and Segura are all going to write something cool. I'm very glad to hear these are all new stories. Last year we got a Clone Wars anthology that was basically just retellings of Clone Wars episodes or arcs, and I would much rather experience something brand new. I also want to point out that Jake Bartok is doing the art for this book, and you should check him out. I'll link to his Twitter in the comments. He has a great style. But those are all the new books announced coming in the first half-ish of 2022, and that's not including the delayed Queen's Hope, the third wave of the High Republic in January and February, and then probably the first wave of Phase 2 midway through the year. Which new titles are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.